All right, all you ghosts and ghouls out there, light your jack-o'-lanterns and cut up your pumpkin spice spam because guess what? We're back again with another film tier.
And this time we're going with movie franchises.
That's right. So today we're doing horror movie franchises, which means basically that the movie has to have at least 3 parts to it. All right. So you want to open up with the first one?
I'll open with the first one. All right. I'm going to pick Nightmare on Elm Street. It's been in one of my movies, and I'm going to put it as the top.
Oh, you're putting it
You know
in
why?
S tier?
Let me tell you, I am 29 years old, and I am still scared to death of Freddy Krueger.
Really?
He has been, Jason, yeah, he's cool. Michael Myers, yeah, he's cool. But the person I think about the most is freaking Freddy Krueger. Going to sleep. You're having a nightmare. He's in your dream.
Yeah, there's no getting away from that.
Yeah, exactly. But he has terrified me my whole entire life. It's a film, such good movies. Such good movies to me.
Some would say it's a film built for fear.
Based on fear.
But yeah, I would definitely rate it pretty high as well. I mean, how do you fight something that lives in your dreams?
Yeah, man, I see Nancy my whole life fighting him, and oh my Jesus, she's fit him so many times.
Yeah. So basically, if you don't know the story,
he was a bad dude, and the whole
was he a groundskeeper? Is that what he was?
He
worked at a school. Maybe?
He was a janitor or something at a school, and he was a very bad man, and
he molested children.
Yes, and the whole town bound together and burned him and killed him.
Yeah.
And he came back to haunt all the children that was.
He had originally molested, right?
Yes, he came back to get everybody's kids.
Yeah.
And it's a film that is very scary.
Yeah, it preys on a lot of different fears. The fears of not being able to control your dreams and shit like that. And also,
I used to have nightmares of it constantly. It's just that scary of a movie to me. But I do rate it high.
Which one's your favorite?
My favorite Freddy Krueger is... I've got to go with the comic book one. Which one? I always forget that one.
Dream...
Is that Dream Warriors? Yeah.
I think it's Dream Warriors.
I think so.
Yeah.
I don't think it's Dream Master. I think it's Dream Warriors.
I'm not sure which one that was, but I'm pretty sure it's Dream Warriors. I don't know chronologically which one that is, but
me neither. But there's like so many different ones, and
yeah,
they're all real good to me. I like every one of them.
There's so many parts that you could literally sit and watch that for a whole 24-hour period and probably not finish the whole series. I'm not sure how many there are, though.
There's a lot of them. I know that. There's quite a few of them.
Yeah. Yeah, I would rate it pretty high. I'd say it's pretty good. It's pretty high up there. I don't know if I'd put it in an S tier.
I would. He's terrified me. Okay. What would you put it in, though?
Me? Honestly, I'd probably put it in an A tier. I mean, I'd put it pretty high.
Pretty high?
Yeah. All right, so if we're gonna go with our favorites first, I'm going to go with the
House of a Thousand Corpses.
Yeah, the Firefly trilogy.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to take your thunder, man, but
no,
that is a good. That's really good.
The Firefly trilogy is just amazing. Rob Zombie is without a doubt one of my favorite writer directors of all time.
Oh yeah.
And House of a Thousand Corpses, The Devil's Rejects, and 3 from Hell. Such good fucking movies. I cannot say enough about these movies, really. So, House of a Thousand Corpses, a couple of kids, they go to they stop off at this gas. I'm not sure where they were going, but they stop off at this gas station that's like a tourist attraction. And Captain Spaulding is
such a good actor.
He's the guy running the place.
Rest his soul.
Yeah, he was an amazing actor.
Good. Great one.
But yeah, they end up going to they end up blowing out a tire or something. They break down, and they go to the Firefly house. At which point they're subjected to torture and mutilation beyond their wildest dreams.
And freaking Sherry Moon, man, she makes her character.
She really does. She really does. And then The Devil's Rejects, which I personally would say that that's my favorite Firefly film.
The Devil's Rejects.
The Devil's Rejects.
It was a good movie.
Fucking great, man. So basically, in The Devil's Rejects, they're on the run, and they end up holding up in a hotel with these unsuspecting. I think they're singers.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're traveling singers or something like that. And once again, subjected to torture and mutilation and just terrible fucking things, which I love.
Yeah.
But yeah, all the Firefly movies. 3 from Hell was good. I don't remember a whole lot about it. I only watched it once.
I wanted to watch it and I never got to.
It was good though. I remember it being good. I remember being sad that it was over because I knew that was going to be the last one. But yeah, the Firefly movies. If you've not watched them, check them out. Really fucking good.
Yeah.
All right, you're up.
All right. Next, I would have to go with. I have to go Friday 13th.
Yeah.
I would put Jason.
It's a hard one.
That is a hard one because Jason is scary, but I think I would go with a B for Jason.
A B tier?
Yeah, I mean all the Friday 13th movies are very good. I mean all of them. I think personally, in my opinion, I even like Jason X. People don't like Jason X or Freddy versus Jason. A lot of people don't.
Yeah.
But I loved the movies. I liked them. But I don't know. It just I love Jason. Don't get me wrong. I love him. Mm-hmm. But it just he's not. He's awesome. It's an awesome movie, but
there's so many parts to it that are shitty movies.
Yes, and it just and Friday the 13th is just it's a good movie. I mean
it's
like
a classic.
The older ones are really good. I mean they're so good, but the more remakes they make of it, the more it just gets to like, okay, a bunch of non-virgin people in cabins, kill them.
Well, I mean they only did one remake,
but I didn't. The remake was okay, but I
thought it was pretty good.
I don't know. It just seems like they done some really good ones back in the day, and I mean, all of them's real good. My favorite one is my favorite Jason is the one where the little kids at camp. The little girl, the girl's dad's a sheriff.
Oh yeah, that's
which one is that? I always get it confused too every time.
Is it 4?
It's 4 or 5.
I don't remember, but I remember what you're talking about. They're playing what the hell is it called? Paintball. They're playing paintball out in the woods.
Yeah, and he gets them.
Yeah.
But another one I liked was Jason Takes Manhattan. We had that on VHS, and I used to love watching that. Now that one it did scare me. So, I think I will. I think I will move him from a B to an A because I remember Manhattan scaring me to death.
I'm going to say something that may not sit well with a lot of people. I did not care for the first one.
The mom one? I didn't either.
Where
I agree.
His mother?
I didn't either.
Yeah. I didn't much care for it.
You hear people, everybody's got their own opinion.
A lot of people say that's the best one.
Yeah.
Me personally, I don't care for that.
No, there's a bunch of them that I think are a lot better than that one. That one I couldn't get into it.
I thought the remake was pretty good too.
Mm-hmm. It's all right.
I like how there was 2 different sets of teens that were murdered.
What do you mean?
Well, in the beginning, there's one group of teens there, and they all get killed except for the girl, who's the guy's sister.
Yeah.
And him and another group of teens come back a year later or some shit like that to try to find her. Yeah. I like that.
Yeah, I mean it was okay, but I don't know. I just feel like there's other ones that's better.
Yeah. Oh, I'm not saying that that's my favorite. I'm just saying I thought it was good.
I thought it was pretty good. I think Manhattan was good. I think it was, part 4 or 5.
It might have been Jason Lives. Was that it?
Was that it? No, Jason Lives. That's the one. Spoiler alert if you ever never watched them. But at the end, or is that Jason Goes to Hell? Jason Goes to Hell.
That's Jason Goes to Hell. Yeah.
At the end of Jason Goes to Hell, spoiler alert. At the main end of it, after they kill, think they killed him and stuff, his mask is sitting on the dirt, and Freddy Krueger's hand comes out and takes him to hell. Yeah. So that's how Freddy vs. Jason came to be.
Yeah, which I liked Freddy vs. Jason too.
I liked to go to hell one too. I liked it too. I mean, because I remember her. Ain't that the one where he kept going after body after body after body until he got back to his body?
Yeah, he kept changing different bodies.
Yeah, and that one was a little, but it still was good. It was still okay.
It was okay. Now,
because I mean, he is a big freaking dude. I mean, I'd be scared of him, but I don't know. I think he gets an A.
I'd kick
his ass. He did scare me.
That's a joke, by the way. No, I even liked Freddy vs. Jason. Yeah, Freddy vs. Jason was good. I like it. And I remember going to the theaters and watching it and having to sit in a metal chair because all of the chairs were taken up. All the seats were taken up.
Well, at the time that it came out, they had the website of Freddy vs. Jason website.
Yeah.
I was like in 5th or 6th grade when it happened.
Yeah.
And I remember I would go to that website, and it was just, it showed parts from the movie. It had creepy, like, jump scares that, like, things would move around on your screen. I mean, it was so fun.
Yeah, that was.
But I did like Freddy vs. Jason. I did.
Yeah. I remember there was so much talk of different horror
clashes.
Horror classes, yeah. Like, there was Michael Myers versus Chucky.
Well, they also had one,
was one
that everybody said a part 2, the Freddy vs. Jason's one come back, because at the end, spoiler alert again, of Freddy vs. Jason, Jason's walking out of the foggy, misty water with Freddy's head in his hand, and Freddy winks at you. You know he's still alive.
Yeah.
Well, everybody said, oh, there's one that's, there was 2 different ones. There was Freddy vs. Jason versus Michael Myers. Then there was Freddy versus Jason, Freddy versus Jason versus Leatherface. There was like 2, everybody kept talking and kept talking.
Yeah, everybody kept talking about it.
But I don't see, the only people I see clashing is Freddy and Jason together.
I mean, yeah. There's one clash that I would love to see.
Who?
Chucky versus Leprechaun.
Oh, that would be bomb.
That'd be good, wouldn't it?
It would.
I would like to see that.
Man, I would be rooting for Leprechaun over there, man.
Would you?
I'd be telling him, whoop up on that little thing.
Yeah, I'd probably have to go for Leprechaun.
Leprechaun, too. Man, he's gangster.
If you Leprechaun back to the hood.
Yeah. Back to the hood, Leprechaun, man. It's such, grew up on it.
We're talking so much about Leprechaun, by the way, because we did not include it on the list.
So this is an honorable mention.
Yes, it is.
The Leprechaun movies. They're funny, they're scary, they're crazy. I mean, they're very good.
And that's the main reason why we didn't include it in the list, was because of how funny they are.
Yeah.
It's hard to really consider Leprechaun a horror movie.
Well, they did do a remake, remember that? They did a remake, and let me tell you, it had nothing to do with the original Leprechaun.
So terrible. It was so terrible.
It was more like a little troll guy just coming around and trying to get you, not the actual Leprechaun himself.
Yeah.
And we watched it, and it was just so boring.
They didn't have Warwick Davis in it, is kind of what I think took a lot of people away from it.
Is that who played Leprechaun?
Yeah, Warwick Davis did. And who was it? It was a wrestler. It was a little wrestler. I can't remember what his name is.
I don't either.
But yeah, they didn't have Warwick Davis, and he made the Leprechaun movies. And
Gotcha,
nobody could play Leprechaun like he could.
You know, that's the first time I ever seen Jennifer Aniston in a movie, was the Leprechaun.
In the original? Yeah.
Yes, that's the first time I ever seen her. Was in the Leprechaun.
Yeah, and she played her part really good.
She did. It's when she first started out, so I mean, she was really good in it.
Yeah. So all right, let's move on to the next one.
Next one, what's yours?
So, I guess since you did Jason, I'll have to do Michael Myers.
Oh, Mike.
Halloween. Now, Halloween is another one of those straight up fucking classic movies.
God, yeah, it is. It is.
Michael Myers is good. I would definitely put it in an A tier.
I would too.
I'm wanting to put it in an S tier.
Really? I would put it at A tier.
I mean, yeah, because once again, there's so many of those movies that didn't really hit, like Season of the Witch.
Yeah, there was some that just didn't stick right.
And most people don't know what the deal is with Season of the Witch. So basically, when they made Halloween 1 and 2, John Carpenter was supposed to be doing Halloween anthology movies. So it was supposed to be a different person or
a different story. Every movie.
Yeah, every movie. And they tried that with Season of the Witch, and I can't really remember exactly what Season of the Witch was about. I remember if you watched AMC, like around Halloween time, that's all they'd fucking play.
Really?
They would like, if you watch it during the daytime. When I remember watching it when I was a kid. They would play Season of the Witch like fucking back to back, and I hated it so much. But the only thing I really remember about it was it was like a TV station, and anybody who watched the TV, like, they fucking died or
really. I don't
something like
remember that one.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's a reason why you don't remember it. It was shit. But after there was so much complaints, there were so many complaints about it becoming an anthology movie, and more people wanted to see Michael Myers, so John Carpenter brought him back in part 4. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's I love the new ones coming out right now because they brought Jamie Lee Curtis back, and man, I love her movies. She's a great actress, and her being in this Halloween movie, like, I'm so glad they brought her back in the other one and this one, because she did kind of make the movie to me, because she was in H2O, she was in the other ones, and I mean, she just, to me, it seemed like Michael and Jamie Lee Curtis just had a chemistry where she played Laurie Strode. I mean, it was such a good. I love how they brought it back.
It was such a good back and forth between them. That when they killed her off in, what was it, Resurrection?
I thought they killed her off before that in the older ones when she was younger, because she fell out of the window and she lands because she was in the psych ward.
Yeah, that's Halloween Resurrection.
But I thought she died.
She did die. Yeah, they killed her off.
I'm thinking of H2O. I'm thinking of when she's back with Josh Hartnett as her son.
Yeah, well, Resurrection came out after H2O did.
Did it?
Yeah. That was the one with Busta Rhymes and all that when they were going to his house. Yeah.
Oh, I love that one. I think it's hilarious, Busta Rhymes, man.
It's different.
It is, but I like that one too.
It's not bad. I actually watched it not that long ago.
Yeah, you did.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think you actually watched it last weekend. You were sitting in there chilling, watching TV.
I think it was last weekend. But yeah, I love I love all variations of them. I love John Carpenter's, of course, the classics, the originals, fucking amazing. I also love Rob Zombie's. Rob Zombie's were so fucking good, and there's so many people that hate it. And I know you don't like it.
I don't like it, but I love Rob Zombie. Don't get me wrong, I love him. It's just, I just couldn't get into him. I think because where he takes you to the level where nobody likes to take you. He likes to push you to that limit.
Exactly, and that's what makes it so good. I just don't like
movies like that. It scares me. It makes me too anxious.
You got to think of where Halloween was back in the 70s. You know, when they made the original Halloween, that was John Carpenter pushing you to the fucking limit.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh, I remember being a kid and being like, "Oh my God, Michael Myers is gonna kill me now. He's real." Yeah. I remember being like that, but it just. I don't know. I'd rather take the classic ones over Rob Zombie's. I do, and I'm sorry. But that's just my opinion.
I mean, yeah, that's fine.
But I know how you are about Rob Zombie's movies.
Not just that. I think the backstory that he gave us with Michael Myers in his first rendition of Halloween Part 1 was amazing. And there's so many. I understand why it gets hate, because of the whole white trash thing, and he's basically saying that Michael Myers was, just a little white trash kid, and
he grew up to be a serial killer.
I get that. I understand why that gets hate, but I fucking love it. I think that it was done so great. And the music is great, and just the grittiness to it was just so fucking good. And Part 2 falls off a little bit. Ain't
that the one where you always see his wife, the white horse? Is that one?
I think it does that in Part 1 as well, but that's the one where at the end of Part 2 she kind of goes crazy. I think. I'm not entirely sure, but even with getting back to the new ones as well, with was it David Gordon Green and
Danny McBride.
Danny McBride, yeah.
I can't believe Danny McBride.
Who fucking expected that?
Because all I think about when I think of Danny McBride is like
Your Highness,
Pineapple Express, and then definitely Your Highness. If you never watched that movie, it's hilarious. Courtney, they such a good movie. Courtney, Natalie Portman.
Hold my dick.
It's just a good movie.
It is so fucking good. So yeah, I did not expect that
from him.
From him.
Yeah.
So fucking good. Yeah, the new ones are great. I do love the fact that what they did was they completely skipped all of them. They went with Halloween 1 and 2, and that's the only ones that they recognize. So it's a direct sequel to Halloween 2.
So they wanted to show what happened if Laurie Strode survived and she stayed.
Yeah, and she didn't have Josh Hartnett as a son.
Yeah, she has, spoiler alert, she's got a daughter.
Yeah.
So, I like it. I like how they brought her back.
Yeah, I do too. I think killing her off was a mistake.
I did too. It took me forever to realize that they killed her off.
Fucking 25 years almost of.
Yeah, why did you kill her off,
back
man?
and forth.
She's awesome.
All right, you're up.
All right, next. Mine's gotta go with Resident Evil. I know it's not like a big time horror movie, but you know what? It's about zombies, and I would give it a B.
A B?
A B. I would give it an A, but you know what? I'm gonna give it a B. I do like the Resident Evil. I like the zombie feel, the apocalypse feel of the zombies, and the vomit of them, like how they go from regular zombies to monsters to these big old creatures, and then the dogs. The dogs, to me, that was so fun playing Resident Evil games.
Oh, yeah.
Because the dogs would get you, they would sidetrack you, like, you wouldn't expect it.
Yeah.
You'd be like, okay, I'm going here, and I'm more, oh, there's something shining over. And, busting through the windows, and you're like, oh my God.
Now, I completely agree with you on the games. The games are so fucking good. Especially when it comes to the newer ones. Mm-hmm. Resident Evil 7.
God, that's my favorite one, I believe.
I think 7 was a fucking masterpiece.
It was.
I love the different direction that they went with it.
I had, at first, when I played Biohazard, I was like, I'm a little skeptic about it because I was like, really, man?
Yeah.
It wasn't really about zombies.
It kind of had a more Silent Hill kind of feel to it, almost.
But then again, after I played it and done it myself, I love that game. I could still play that game now and play it over and over again.
And we're actually thinking of playing it, so let us know. No, we can stream it, or we can
videos.
We can make videos of it.
We're thinking about playing it.
Yeah, we're thinking about playing it, so if you guys would like to see us play it, let us know.
But the Resident Evils, I like the first one. I love the first one.
The movies?
The movies.
You see, that's where I kind of dropped out. I watched the first one, and it was pretty good. I didn't mind it. I especially liked the part with the laser scene.
Yeah, where Alice does it to him.
Yeah. But that's kind of where I dropped off.
See, part 2, I love part 2 because it had Nemesis in it.
Yeah.
It was really good. I like part 2. Part 3, is that Afterlife or is that part 4?
I'm not sure.
Well, but I've watched all of them. And I've loved, there's Afterlife is the last one. It goes Resident Evil 1, Resident Evil Apocalypse, Resident Evil, I just had it on the tip of my tongue, man. Resident Evil Resurrection. And then Afterlife. Afterlife, it kind of fell off a little bit, but part 1 and 2 to me stuck out really good, I think, because they let you, it reminds you of it so much. And then part 2, when Nemesis came, I mean, that was such
an iconic moment.
To me, it was a bad A movie. Part 2 was. Part 2 out of the whole, all four of them or 5 of them, I loved it.
Which
part 2 was my favorite.
Which one had Mike Epps in it?
Part 3. Part 3, Resurrection, when they're in the desert. And she could find out she had more powers to her.
They locked themselves in a church or something like that?
Well, what happened is that they're traveling across road and everything's desert, there's so much sandstorms, and I can't remember exactly what happens to Mike Epps, but
he dies.
Yeah, he dies. I think he actually gets bit up under a semi-truck, or he's climbing up something and gets bit, but I'm not for sure. But to me, it seems like, they had, I don't think her name was Jill, but she had the blue tank top and the skirt on. And, who was she supposed to be? Ava Wong? Is that who she was supposed to be? I'm not for sure, but I think they did good with them.
Yeah.
Because it's a fear of zombies, man.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that to me is scary.
The reason why I never really cared a whole lot for the Resident Evil movies was the distancing from actual zombies.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, like you said, which is completely different in the game. I love the fact that it went...
evolves in the game. The virus evolves.
But in the movies, like, if I'm watching a zombie movie, I want to watch a zombie movie.
Yeah.
The games, they can differentiate. They can go back and forth, whatever. But if I'm watching a zombie movie, like, I want to watch 28 Days Later.
Or Dawn of the Dead. Dawn of the Dead's a good
Dawn
movie.
Of the Dead.
I wouldn't watch that in theaters.
Or,
But, I mean, I really like the Resident Evil ones.
Yeah. I mean, they're not bad. And 28 Days Later was one that I wanted to mention on here so fucking bad because I love...
Well, there you go. Another honorable mention.
Yeah. But it doesn't make it because
ain't got a franchise.
Danny Boyle only did 2.
Oh, really?
Yeah. There was supposed to be, let's see, there was 28 days later and 28 weeks later. And there was so much talk of doing 28 months later, and it just never came to fruition.
Stuck.
Yeah, and that it breaks my heart because they are so fucking good movies.
Ain't that the one movie where the guy looks up? Ain't Ian McKellen and the blood from the crow drops in his eye and he goes crazy?
No, it's not Ian McKellen.
Not Ian McKellen, but Cillian
Murphy.
Yes, ain't that where he does that? Ain't that what happens to him?
Oh no, it happens. It does happen. It happens to the little girl's father.
Is that?
I can't remember his name, but yeah, the crow drops a drop of blood in his eye, and he
snaps. Yeah.
And I love the fastness of them. How they're, if you watch like The Walking Dead or shit like that,
they're real slow.
They're all slow.
Well, that's why I always tell you about if you probably have heard the game Dying Light. Dying Light, they're like mutated like that. Where there's some that don't get in the light because the light will kill them, but they're super fast of the night. I mean, they've got different varieties of zombies instead of just slow walking zombies. Just like a game that I love, Dead Island. Got to play that game. That game, it is so hard just on easy, but it is a killer game to play.
I have played through that game probably 10 times.
I'm too scared to play it, so I make him play it, and I've made him play it and play it. I still want him to play it now because it's one of my favorite zombie games.
And it is really good. And I'm waiting for Dead Island 2 to come out. And
I wish it would. It's been
so
years.
Fucking long of a wait.
It's been years.
It has. And I just kind of lost hope in it.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to come.
That's I love the Resident Evil movies. I love the beginning of the opening one where they're all in the office and everything starts going to crap. And, I mean, it's such, I like it. Yeah. I like it. It's just, it still makes me feel like I'm in the game.
I will say, Mia Jovovich.
Oh, I love her.
Played that part so fucking well.
She did. That's the first time I really know who she was because of Resident Evil when it first came out. Yeah. And, I mean, I'm glad they kept her through all the movies because she made that movie.
She did.
She was a total badass, and she stuck with it, man.
Yeah, she was a real badass.
Okay, next is your rule.
Let's see here. I'm probably going to go with Pet Sematary. And I'm probably going to put it at a B2. Mm-hmm. It's good.
Yeah, it's good.
I mean, don't get me wrong, it's good. The first one... gonna say something that a lot of people probably won't agree with as well. First one, not my favorite.
Is the first one where the little boy cuts the ankles?
Yeah.
Oh my god. Yeah. I hate that. My favorite one was with Edward Furlong.
That's part 2.
Part 2.
I love part 2.
Part 2. Now I don't remember much about part 3.
Well, part 3 was the remake.
Was it the remake? The remake was okay, but it seemed like it
wasn't bad.
Edward Furlong's part 2. It was such a good one.
It was.
And we didn't watch it that long ago. It's been a few months back, but we just recently watched it not long ago.
Part 2?
Mm-hmm. We watched part 2, then the remake. Actually, we watched all three of them.
Yeah.
We watched all three of them.
Yeah, we watched all 3 of them. And, what was it? His
mom.
His friend. Oh. Yeah, but his friend's, dad. Or, I think it's his stepdad or his mom's boyfriend.
It's his stepdad. It's his mom's boyfriend, and he's very...
he's very strict. He's an asshole.
Yeah, he's an a-hole in the movie, and I mean...
He gets bit by the dog, isn't it?
Yeah, the dog finally goes off on him, I think kills him over the chick. Like, he's got rabbits, and the dog keeps eating the rabbits, supposedly, and... Yeah. He goes crazy, and the dog gets him. Yeah. And kills him. And then, how does he get brought back?
They bury him.
They bury him?
I'm pretty sure they take him to the cemetery and bury him. Yeah. Not 100% sure.
But now,
on that.
The remake, it did end pretty good.
Yeah.
It did end pretty good, I must say.
It ended really good.
The remake did end pretty good.
I'm not going to spoil that.
No, you all need to go check it out. I mean, it's just... The reason why we spoiled the other ones is because, man, these are all movies, man. Get with the 2021. Should have done watched them by now, man. Yeah. I was watching them in the womb. That's how my mom watches horror movies.
Oh, shit.
I was sitting there clicking through. No, not really. I was born in the 90s, so.
But, yeah, on part 2, the part where he takes the boy, the boy on the motorbike.
Yes.
Yeah, and he revs up the back tire and he just rips the boy's fucking face off.
And I hated that part when it would pop his face up and I'm like, oh my god, that kid got jacked up. Yeah. Anytime I got beside a bicycle wheel, I'm like, oh my god, Pet Sematary.
Yeah, it really leaves a stain in your brain. It really does.
It does. But yeah, go check it out, man. Pet Cemetery.
It's something that people don't do anymore, showing little kids get
I mean, because
fucked up.
It's a touchy subject, and I understand why.
It is. It's a touchy subject, but I mean,
man,
it's a horror movie.
Yeah, it's a horror movie.
What do you expect?
It's a movie based on fear.
Yeah.
It's what you fear.
All right, you're up.
All right, me. I'm going to go with the Scream movies.
Yeah.
And I'm going to put it as a B.
A B?
A B, yeah.
You're putting it all the way down at a B?
What do you think?
Dude, bring that up to an A, man.
A? Okay, A. All right. Well, Scream movies, they are a classic.
Wes Craven, man.
Wes Craven made Scream too?
Yeah, Wes Craven
Awesome.
made Scream. Hell yeah.
Got a good rest it so. That was a good movie too. And they're getting ready to make a remake now, and I can't wait to check it out.
There's 4 of them, I think. Mm-hmm. And
there's 5, and they just made a remake. There's 6 of them now.
Are you sure?
Yes, there's 5 of them.
I believe there's only 4. And
the first one,
now they're making a 5th one.
The first one had Drew Barrymore in it at the beginning.
Yeah, she's the one that dies at the beginning.
Part two, Sydney comes back, and Gail's wrote her book and everything.
And that's the one where Jamie Kennedy bites it.
Yep, Jamie Kennedy. No, that's the first one. The first one's got Matthew Lillard in it.
Yeah, it's got Matthew Lillard. Matthew Lillard.
And Jamie Kennedy, because he's sitting on the couch, and they're walking away from him.
But he lives, though.
Oh, did he?
He lives. And in the second one, he gets pulled into the van.
He does,
and gets killed. Yeah.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah, spoiler alert, guys.
But, okay, that's part 2. Now, part 3. What happens in part 3?
Part 3 was the one with, what the fuck is his name? The dude that played on...
Jerry O'Connell.
Jerry O'Connell.
Yeah, now they're in college. Sydney's in college and stuff, and her college boyfriend. And then part 4...
Part 4 was the newer one.
Guess so, ain't it?
Yeah.
I thought there was 5.
I mean, they're getting ready to make a 5th one.
Well, it's just called Scream. It's not even called Scream.
No, it's not called Scream 5. But
no. But I thought they was...
But either way, once again, if you guys don't know what Scream is, it's a slasher film.
It's Ghostface, man.
It's Ghostface. I mean, yeah, everybody knows what it is. I would say my favorite is the first one. I love the first one. I love Matthew Lillard, one of my favorite actors of all time. Mm-hmm. And I think he just plays the part of psycho, funny dude to a T.
He does, don't he? I mean, he
plays it so fucking good.
Okay, yeah, you're right. Okay, so there are only 4 right now, but they're making the 5th one.
Yeah, they're making
Yeah.
And it doesn't look bad.
Mm-hmm. No,
I'm definitely going to watch it.
I'm going to watch it too. Because Ghostface is something that you can watch over and over again and not really get tired of it. Because it's just, it's comedy, but not comedy. And it's horror. And it's just like, like you said, Matthew Lillard's in it. And he makes he can go from playing Shaggy to Psycho Killer. I mean, he's a good actor.
Yeah.
We've talked about him before. Awesome actor.
And Jamie Kennedy, I don't rate Jamie Kennedy very high.
No, because you don't see him do much, man. Leave him alone. Poor guy did The Mask 2.
But he did Scream 1 and 2 really good.
Yeah.
Really fucking good.
Yeah.
What's your favorite Scream?
My favorite would be part 3. I like part 3 when they're in college.
Part 3 is good.
Because it was a little different. It wasn't the same. I mean, the first one, second one, they're good. Part 4 was pretty good too. It was. But...
part 4 is probably my least favorite.
Yeah. Mine too.
It's not bad. I like where Anthony Anderson, he's the cop.
Oh God, yes.
Gets stabbed right in the fucking head.
He gone, and he's walking. He's
poor
guy. Poor guy.
Good. But
all right.
Definitely gonna watch the next one.
Yeah, we're gonna watch this one. Check it out. And see
which
how
we
it is.
spent. Let's see. What I'd say it was probably like 2 or 3 months ago, where we had realized that we didn't remember much about the movies, so we sat down and watched.
We binge watched every one of them.
Yeah, we sat down and watched every one of them, and I would do it again in a heartbeat.
I would too. I love it.
Such
a good movie.
I love those movies. All right, so I got the next one.
Yep, you got the next one, big dog.
I am going to go with the Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Okay, where are you going to put him at?
I'm going to put him at a B.
At a B? I would say a B too.
Put Leatherface at a B.
Yeah.
Because he's had some not so
good remakes.
So hits.
Yeah.
I remember the first one that I watched. I didn't even watch the originals. Mm-hmm. At up until this point, I mean, I've seen them. I've seen them now, but the first one that I watched was the one that came out in the early 2000s.
With Jessica Biel?
Yeah, with Jessica Biel.
Yeah, Matt Boomer and them. Yeah, that's the first one I remember watching.
And Oh, no, that wasn't the first one.
Me
I
neither.
watched.
I was about to say I lied.
Yeah, the first one I watched was the one with Matthew McConaughey.
Me too. And I never knew that was a Texas Chainsaw Massacre until I got older.
Really?
I remember seeing it. I was like, who is this man? Why is he so crazy? And then when I got older, I realized Matthew McConaughey. And then I think it was your mom that told me that's Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I was like, no way.
Yeah.
She said, yeah. And I was like, I remember seeing it when I grew up.
He's got the fucking thing on his leg.
Yeah.
he's,
And he
he's
does it
crushing
good,
that woman's
though.
head in. Yeah,
He
he
does
does
good.
it really good. He does.
And I remember watching it, and I never knew it was until I got older that was one of the Texas Chainsaw Massacres.
Yeah.
And I seen the one. Is that the one too where she's running down the? That's the famous iconic where he's slinging the thing around. That's the very first
Oh,
one.
he
ain't it?
does that more than once.
I know, but that
Yeah.
that first started in the first one. That the guy
yeah.
who played him
Yeah.
is the one who put that in there, and they kept it, and that was his thing, slinging it around.
Yeah.
Because they told him just do whatever while you're standing there. So he
Yeah.
cut himself and everything. I reckon he cut his hand and everything doing it. Yeah, but
But yeah, I watched that one, and then I watched the Jessica Biel one.
and then we went to see the 3D one in
Which-
theaters, which it wasn't really 3D.
No, not only was it not 3D. I mean, it was 3D. There was elements to it that
But
was
it
3D.
was just, it didn't, it was one of those movies that you're like, oh, this will be
Yeah.
good, but it's got a plot, but they never hit the nail on the head with the plot. It
and
just,
and there was so much. They went too much comedy with it. Like there's a line where between horror and comedy
Yeah.
that if you cross that line, you're in Leprechaun territory.
yeah.
And they kind of went into Leprechaun territory.
I don't
with that
remember
one.
much about the newest one, but I remember that. I remember,
There was a.
I feel like it wasn't, the reason why I didn't remember is because they had the story, they already knew what to do with it. It's been out forever.
And I think Toby Hooper had something to do with it.
Now, who's that?
He was the one that created the first one.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, let me tell you, whoever he let help him destroyed it, because the remake, it's all right, but it's
Now,
not.
I've not seen the new Leatherface.
Which one's the new one? Are there another one?
Yeah, it's newer. I've yet to watch it.
Oh, yeah, it's just called Leatherface.
Just called Leatherface.
I
yeah.
ain't watched it either.
It's something to do with him when he was a kid. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've not yet watched that one, so we'll have to check that out.
Yeah, we'll have to check them out. But I mean, Leatherface is pretty scary. I mean, being somewhere breaking down and finding old houses, like the house that you see in the movies. There's literally one like 30 minutes away from our house that's big like that.
Oh
that's
yeah,
beautiful.
I love that house.
And that's what the first thing you think of is, oh my God, here comes Leatherface. He's gonna come out here and chop me up and take me in there into his basement.
And I will tell you firsthand, driving across southern Texas, in the where you're 50 miles away from any gas station, it does get fucking scary out there.
Does it?
Yes, it does.
I say it does. Like hills have eyes and stuff. They're in deserts. You know, it's just, I don't know, thinking about breaking down in the middle of nowhere and some crazy wacko comes after you.
Yeah.
And what are you going to do? Are you just,
You're going to shit yourself and die is what you're going to do.
And I'm hoping I stroke out before he gets me. That's all I got to say.
All right.
All right.
We got one more. That's up to you.
All right. This one, I'm going to put it with a B.
Put it with a B?
Because there are some really good Saw movies. There's like freaking 35,000 of them, it feels like. But there's only like, there's like 9 of them.
Is there
There's
that?
a lot of them. And like the first few, like I was watching one the other day actually, and I can't remember which one it was called, but I remember he had them all wrapped up by their necks and gave them 3 syringes and told them, you know, pick the right one. One's antidote and the other ones will kill you.
Yeah.
Well, like one of the girls was looking at the syringes, and it said $3.26 or something like that. $3.26. He asked them. He said, "Tell me how much somebody else's life means to you." What happened is the girl was on drugs, stole a woman's purse. She had asthma, freaked out, and died of an asthma attack. She hyperventilated too much.
Yeah.
And when she got her purse and emptied her purse, she found the inhaler and found the money, and she only had $3.26 on her.
Wow.
And she went back to her, and she was already dead. So what happens is another guy gets all 3 syringes, sticks it in her neck, and she starts melting from the inside out.
Holy
Scared me to
shit.
death. But I ain't seen that one. But I mean, the first few is really good. Like the first one, it really gets you because what is his name? James Wan.
Yeah, James Wan.
I mean, makes great movies. Made all the Insidious movies. Made the Saw movies. I mean, he knows.
Lee Whannell.
Is that who it is?
Yeah, it's James Wan and Lee Whannell.
Yeah. But they really make that movie feel like it's really scary to think, oh God, what if somebody does kidnap me and I'm stuck? Would I make that decision to cut off my leg, or do I sit there and rot and die? You know.
That's Specs and Insidious. The one of the younger guys that comes in. Yeah,
one of the
that's
ghosts.
Lee Wiseman.
What's her name in it? What is her name? The woman that we love in the Insidious
Yeah, we've
movies.
talked about her multiple times on the channel.
Oh my God. It's one of her teammates.
Yeah, I
And
can't remember her name now.
but I mean, one was really good. You know, they was locked up, and then two. Which one was two?
One is really the only one I remember.
I remember two. I remember the one with Chester in it.
Chester
From
Bennington.
from Lincoln Park.
Yeah.
God rest his soul again. I liked the one that he was in. That was, I think, part 3. I think
it was because it was 3D.
Yeah, and he was in the car and he's reaching out. Yeah. Part 2. What was part 2 about?
I don't remember. I only remember part 1.
Well, part 1 they was in the warehouse. Part 2. Is that where they was all down in the sewer and they're trying to get out? Is that that one?
With the thing on her head?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's part 2,
It
I
could
believe.
have been. I remember part 1 because we watched it at school.
Oh my God.
Yeah, we watched Saw at school.
I ain't gonna say
And
that.
that
One of our
was,
teachers did too, Mr.
I think that
Mr. Swafford.
I think that was 7th or 8th grade.
Oh really?
Yeah, I wasn't even in high school yet.
Well, we was in high school when we watched some of them.
Yeah, we wasn't in high school yet.
One of our substitute teachers would come in high school, and he was like, "Okay, I'm letting you watch movies." Let us watch Paranormal Activity. We started it in computer class. All of us set our headphones on watching it, and then our computer teacher, told us to get off her.
Yeah.
We had work to do, and so we get in there, and we finally get to watch the rest of the movie in like 6th period because we had a substitute that day.
Yeah.
We watched Paranormal Activity. We watched a little bit of Saw.
Well, this was like on the last day of school.
Oh, really?
And
this was during the school year. I mean, we wasn't even on the last day of school.
Yeah. We were on the last day of school, and I remember my teacher was like, "All right, somebody gets to bring a movie to school tomorrow."
Mm-hmm.
And they get to choose what we watch. And somebody brought Saw.
Oh my God.
It had just come out, I believe. It had just come out that year.
Yeah.
And they didn't tell the teachers what it was or anything like that. They just put it in. And the teachers kind of, since it was the last day of school, the teachers kind of went and did their own thing and just kind of left us in the classroom alone. And like halfway through the movie, they come in and they see this guy with his brains blown out.
Oh my God.
Laying in the middle of the floor, because remember he had the two of them were chained up and he was dead laying in the middle of the floor.
Yeah.
Except he wasn't really dead.
Spoiler.
And the teacher's just like, "What are you guys watching?"
Watch the whole movie. You're coming at the end.
That's what they thought too. They were like, "Well, I guess go ahead and watch it." It's like, okay.
I mean, but you know, it was a pretty good franchise. I mean,
it wasn't bad. I remember, like I said, the only one I remember is the first one, and it was pretty good. It was new.
I did like part 2. That's the one I'm thinking about, them being in the sewers and she's got that thing on her head and she's trying to get through. Now I did like it the most. Now I do want to see the new one with Chris Rock and Chris Ramsey.
Chris Ramsey,
Magician
yes.
Man. He's in it.
I fucking love Chris Ramsey.
Oh, I do too. He looks like such a gentle giant.
Yeah, it's called Spiral.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Now I like to watch it because I like Chris Rock and I like Chris Ramsey. So
Yeah.
I would love to see that.
That was the only reason why I wanted to watch it, was because of Chris Ramsey.
Chris Ramsey in it.
I love Chris
Good
Ramsey.
guy. Go to his YouTube channel, man.
Yeah, check him out.
He's a magician. He's hilarious, and he's a cool dude.
Yeah.
Cool dude.
So that's all that we got, but we do have some honorable mentions.
Oh, yes, we do.
Now, the reason why these are honorable mentions is because we don't remember enough about them to really give a good judgment on them. And they're ones that we're going to watch
Yes.
in the near future.
Near future. We like to binge.
These are ones I want to watch. Cabin by the Lake.
Now, what about... I never heard of that
Okay.
one, I don't think.
So, Cabin by the Lake was this sci-fi. It was movies that were made by sci-fi, I think.
Yeah.
Pretty sure. Me and my cousin watched them. And we sat and we watched every one of them. And,
They're all called Cabin by the Lake?
well, there's Cabin by the Lake 1, 2, 3.
Oh, really?
Whatever. Judd Nelson. Yes,
No.
Judd Nelson. So, what it is he kidnaps women. And he takes them...
Their skin?
No, not exactly. But he kidnaps women and he takes them to a lake, and he drops him in the lake.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I mean he dresses him up all pretty and stuff, makes him look good, and then he drops him in the lake, and he's got like it's like his garden.
Yeah, and
His
don't like a
garden
girl
of
get in it and like she finds all the bodies and the pretty dresses and crap. And I ain't seen that movie in years.
I know.
We'll have to watch that for sure.
It's been so long since I watched that movie.
Yeah, that we got a date then.
Yeah.
We're gonna watch that.
All right, next one.
All right, next we're gonna go with The Conjuring, because I've seen a few of them and they are. I like Ed and Lorraine Warren. I mean, I like their stuff they do.
I like it.
And God rest their soul as well. And that's something. Like I've watched a few of them, and I caught bits and pieces of The Devil Made Me Do It. We had a family movie night one night.
Yeah, I watched every bit of that.
Yeah.
That was good.
Yeah.
That was really good.
And see, his mom and his mom and his dad don't watch a lot of horror movies. So every now and then we'll finally get them into a family movie night.
Yeah.
And make them come watch movies with us. And that was actually a movie that your mom wanted to watch, was The Devil Made Me Do It, and I didn't get to watch it.
I watched it from
real
beginning
busy.
to end, and it was pretty good.
Oh yeah, you guys sit there and watched it, and
Yeah.
it just the first one was good.
What was the first one?
The first one, the little girl clapping in the ear
yes,
and the music box.
I remember it now. Yeah.
Okay, and then like the Annabelle one, it was really good. I liked it. It was scared me too, but it was good.
Yeah.
And I want to watch The Nun, and I wanted to watch which one was it? What's the other one? There's Conjuring 1, 2, Annabelle.
The Nun.
I tried to watch
then-
Annabelle Creations, but I couldn't really get into it.
I've not watched any of the Annabelle ones.
I tried to watch the second one, and I just could not get into it. But it starts out slow, I think. That's why.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I like to see the rest of them. I like to watch all of them to see how they all are told, because I ain't got to see them all.
Yeah, I'd like to check them out.
I too.
We'll check them out. So next up we have Wishmaster.
Is that the bad box too?
No. No.
I know Hellraiser is, but
No. Well, Wishmaster is about.
I thought it was the box too. I thought it
No,
had
I think it's a jewel. I think maybe a necklace.
It would be a jewel
or something like that. It might be a jewel. It's a ruby.
A ruby?
It's a red ruby. I remember it now. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Can he transform himself into different people and stuff like that too? I think I saw bits and pieces of it.
Yeah. So he's a djinn.
No way.
Yeah, he's a
that's what
djinn.
he's in. Oh, that's cool.
And he's trapped in the ruby, but if he gets out, then he grants you wishes, but the wishes are never what you want them to be. It always turns out into some really bad shit.
I like to watch that.
I remember there was 3 or 4 of them.
There's a lot of Wishmasters.
There is, and I remember part 3. He's in prison.
Really? They got this ghost up in prison?
Well, no, he's not a ghost. He's a genie, but
he's an evil genie.
He's an evil genie. He's a djinn.
Wow.
And
bad guy out here.
Yeah.
What a creepy laugh.
Who, me? Hey, man. I can. It's Spooktober, man. I can be as creepy as I want.
Hey, now listen. You don't need to flare them nose holes up at me like that, man. Like, don't embarrass me now.
Okay. But yeah, Wishmaster is something I remember watching as a kid. And I remember watching I remember definitely watching the first 3. I don't know if any more came out after that.
There's a bunch of them.
So Wishmaster is something I would definitely love to sit and watch.
I would like to watch it too.
Yeah. All right, we got one more.
All right, the next one is, I just said his name a minute ago. You know what it is? Hellraiser.
Yeah, Hellraiser.
Well, I don't remember much about Hellraiser. I do remember bits and pieces of it too as well. I remember, because Hellraiser, he never stuck with me. Pinhead never stuck with me like everybody else has. He did me.
I remember watching all of them.
Really? I don't remember getting after the first one, unless this is a different one, but I remember the one where the house has something to do with it, and he falls in love with her every time she comes in the house.
That's the first one.
Is that the first one? Mm-hmm. That's the only one I think I've ever watched, and it's only been
That's
bits and
the only
pieces.
one I remember. I remember that one, and I remember the one that was set way back in the old days.
I don't remember that one.
And the dude looked like fucking Dracula or some shit
really?
like that.
No way.
Yeah.
Had Pinhead with a nice flapped up collar, and Blah, blah,
Well,
blah.
he had a powdered wig. I
No
remember
way. He did not.
that. I'm pretty sure he did.
Really? Did it have nails out of it?
I could be. No. Pinhead didn't. No, it wasn't him. It was one of the main characters in the movie. And once again, I could be way off about this, but I'm pretty sure that's one of them.
Well, we need to check them out and see what they're like. 'Cause I ain't watched them all. I don't remember bits and pieces of that one.
I remember another movie that was made. I think it was made by Clive Barker, the guy who made Hellraiser.
Yeah.
I think it was called Lord of Illusions.
Really?
I remember watching that when we first got together. It was an older movie, but I remember I was up late at night one night and
Was we married?
No, we were dating.
We was dating.
We were dating, and I remember I was talking to you on the phone, and you got tired, and you was like, "I'm going to bed," and I'm like, "Okay, well, I'm just gonna see her."
Watch a scary movie.
Well, I didn't know it was scary at the time. Like I was just kind of flipping through movies, and it was like Clive Barker's Lord of Illusion. I was like, "Huh,
check it out."
That." And it was fucking good. It was scary. It was scary. But Pinhead, Hellraiser, those are definitely movies that I would love to check out and love to go back and watch.
Because I've not seen them all. I've only seen the first one, and like I said, the only few parts. I
remember it being a huge part of my childhood, which is odd. Because I would never let a child watch that movie.
Yeah.
Because just of how dark and twisted it is. But I can't remember the movies themselves. I just remember it being a huge part of my childhood and watching all different, all kinds of them.
Because like hearing my mom talk, she used to watch it a lot, and like I'm like, what? I don't remember watching Pinhead at all growing up.
Yeah.
I remember watching that one because I always get the Leprechaun with Jennifer Aniston confused with the Hellraiser movie.
Yeah.
And I don't know why, but I do. And yeah, I didn't watch many of them. I only watched like I said, a few little minutes of that. The first one is all I can remember.
Yeah.
So I mean, yeah, we should check it out. I mean, see what happens.
Yeah.
I ain't seen it.
And maybe you guys should go check them out. Maybe you guys should go check out all of these.
Yeah.
Because all of them are good in their own right.
Yeah.
So go check them out. Leave some comments below of what your guys' favorite horror movie franchises are. Or maybe we missed some that are really good.
But yeah.
Or maybe you guys think that these movies suck. Let us know.
Let us know. Any opinion, let us know.
Yeah, we're happy with any type of opinions. But all right, guys, I think that's going to do it for this one. We'll see you in the next one.
Toodles!